what exactly what we have to do in particularly to this SPL's courses. See, there are two patterns that we are going around. So we have a recorded one, right? We have a syllabus that you are going to follow, a scheme that you are going to follow, in a recorded one. Just a second. Yeah. So please, if you can confirm me whether my voice and screen is clear. I'm sharing the screen again. If you can confirm me, it would be great on WhatsApp. Yeah, so I believe my voice and screen is clear. Yeah, guys. So see, there are two mediums going on. One is recorded and one is a weekly live class, right? One is recorded and one is a live class. So in the recorded lectures, I have uploaded many past papers, right? So you have to cover that with a planner that I've shared with you, right? You have to cover that with a planner that I've shared with you. In the live classes, what I am going to do in live classes, I'm going to solve a couple of recent past papers, right? I'm going to solve a couple of recent past papers that we should be doing. Okay. So this is separately to be taken by student. Now they have to take this course and they have to do it. The weekly live class, that's probably going to happen on Friday or Sunday. We're gonna be discussing a recent past paper until pre-scene arises, right? So once you have got the pre-scene, our entire focus will be on it, right? So am I clear and audible to everyone? If you can confirm me on the chat box, if you can confirm me on the chat box that am I clear and audible. So what I am going to do, I am going to solve a recent past paper that I've told in the previous class. That's PVS that we are going to solve, right? Now, since PVS, I particularly assume that it belongs to June 24 attempt. So it's a paper that have uh, uh, pre-scene element, right? So in the previous class, I told you that you have to cover the pre-scene. So how many students have seen the pre-scene lectures? Huh? How many students have seen the pre-scene lectures? Can they confirm me, please? On the chat box, guys. Please confirm me on the chat box that have you guys aware of the pre-scene of PVS? Because in today's class, we gonna be doing the pet wet particularly question, right? And for that, you need to have an idea of the pre-scene. Okay, so perfect, right? So guys, some of the basic queries, and then we'll move on to the past paper. Now, one basic query was, that are they think separate or parallel, right? Are these both medium of studying? You are saying they are separate or parallel. See, if anyone enrolls with me, they have access to both, right? A recorded version, approx 100 hours, and then a live weekly class. So we are standing probably in April, and in April, if we are standing, so we can see that April and May, we have 2 months to practice. So approx 8 to 10 live classes we have. And then once the pre-scene is there, so we'll have around 5 to 7 live classes of pre-scene, right? So 5 to 7 live classes of pre-scene, right? So 8 to 10 we have, and then live classes of recent past papers, in which my target is to solve at least 2 to 3 recent past papers, and then 5 to 7 pre-scene classes, in which we're gonna be attempting mocks based on pre-scene as well, right? Mocks based on pre-scene that I've started from couple of attempts that we should be making mocks based on pre-scene. So today we are going to do a question named PVS, for which the pre-scene must be covered and student have done it, right? For which the pre-scene must be covered and student have done it. Okay, they are confirming me. That's yes, sir. We have seen your boring classes of pre-scene. Okay, so these are the questions that we have to look off, right? But one thing in SPL, that's the examiner's point of view. Huh? One thing in SPL, that's the examiner's point of view. And what's that? It is that it is always not always possible to publish the suggested answer. So that means your answer can be different from mine answer, right? It's not possible. Like if let's say Umar is a student and Umar is drafting an answer in a different manner and I am answering in a different manner, we both can get a pass mark or we both can be regarded as a fail mark, right? So that means it is difficult to cover all the points, right? That means the examiner answer as well is not covering the all points, right? So once we are done with the questions and its analysis, we have to see examiner answer, and we must believe that it's not covering all the answers, right? So credits will be given to the candidates for points not included in the suggested answer, but nevertheless are relevant. So do you guys know that you can write those answers which are not in the marking scheme but are relevant, right? But are relevant. And this is the case study exam, guys. Here, it is not mandatorily possible to draft exactly just like examiner, right? So you have to be presentable. You have to think of some good points, and that's it. That is all required, right? So this was the first info that I need to give it to you. Now, let's read the question and plan the question accordingly. And once we are reading and planning the question accordingly, we'll try to draft it, else I'll give it to you. You can draft and I'll draft the question in the next class. So we'll see it, where we go, right? We'll see it. So now, let's have a particular discussion on this question, right? So I have extracted this question from the examiner portal, right? I've extracted this question from the examiner portal. So you can go to the portal of the recent past papers and can draft it and can extract it. So guys, here is the questions list. It's kind of a screenshot question because examiner portal doesn't allow you to download the questions. But since I have to do it, so I extracted it. So in the PVS, it's a pet veterinary services kind of a business, right? You must have pets. It's kind of that business, and I believe that you have taken pre-scene, so you can go through with that, right? So it's kind of a different industry. See, in SPL, industry really matters, right? If industry is easy, you guys can score well. But if that kind of industry comes where you don't have that much pet in your life, so there's a problem. You cannot synergistically connect with the question, right? So therefore, I opted this question to solve in the live class because it's from a different industry that's usually not tested that much. But if it comes, so it's going to be a problem. And for you guys, it's really good that for SBL, you have got the pre-scene now. So once you have got the pre-scene, so that means you know which industry it's going to come, right? Now, the new chief executive officer has asked to suggest ways to grow the business. Strategies to achieve this are to be presented at the next board meeting. So what they are looking for, I believe they are looking for growth. While reading this line, I see that they are looking for growth. And while reading the pre-scene as well, we realize that they are looking for growth, right? Now, the business development director is proposing a joint venture between PVS and Best for Pets. So there comes a joint venture, right? which would involve PVS establishing vet clinics in a number of B4P superstores, right? So that means that we are going to come in between you. We are going to jointly join you, and then PVS will make vet clinics in number of superstores. So B4P is kind of a superstore. You can say we haven't read this, right? We just know about the pre-scene, and now we are doing this. So it's kind of a food store, I believe, that usually pet store that have necessities of pet, and we and Bets Pet have jointly collabed and wanted to make a PVS vet clinic in the store. So whoever comes to the store for buying anything for the pet, they can directly go to the clinic, right? Guys, do you have any idea of joint venture? Come on, guys, those who are taking this live, I am here for you. So I want your I want your attention, right? And for that, what I have to do for that, I don't need require you to turn on your camera or unmute your mic, but at least join me in answering on the chat box meeting, right? On the Zoom meeting where I can see the questions. So, do you guys have any idea what exactly joint venture is? Now, the problem is when the students see joint venture, they connect it with IFRS 11, they connected with SBR because most of the students have done that, but that's not the case here, guys. Here, you need to think of business. Here, you need to think of the problems of joint venture. Here, you need to talk about the money rather than how this joint venture would be reported or would be recorded or would be recognized. This is not the case. The case here is that we are going to make and collab with this. So how gonna be this business working? Do you guys understood what I am saying? Huh? And we haven't read the exhibits, right? These are the exhibits. I don't know which is first, which is second, but I believe these are the exhibits. So we'll be reading it and then we'll be trying to solve it. Now, the CEO wants to understand more about the joint venture and the impact it may have on the PVS brand. Any one of you, guys, if I did the joint venture, what's going to be the impact? If PVS did the joint venture, what's going to be the impact? Think of it, right? You need to think it right from the start so that you can jot down the points. If you're not thinking right from the start, you're not going to be making, or you're not going to be jotting down the points, right? If you're not going to be jotting down the points, right? So if you can tell me about this PVS brand, guys, if we did joint venture, what's going to be the impact? The impact would be that since these will be jointly owned, so there might be the qualitative problems, right? We own the PVS separately, and the clinics in those without these joint venture are good. But with this joint venture, if the quality of service is not good, so there can be a damage to goodwill. So this could be a 1 point. Similarly, you have to think of the PVS brand to a wider concepts. This joint venture can lead towards the growth. They might support us, we might support them, and we go to the next heights. But again, this is to be confirmed, right? Now think of these kind of a points, huh? He is particularly interested in the extent to which the service features that have provided PVS's competitive advantage, location, innovation, and quality of service would be delivered in the joint venture. He also has asked whether a franchise agreement might be better. So, guys, here in this question, what I am taking now, that usually in SBL, I don't know how many recorded classes you guys have taken. You must have taken that, but in normally in SBL, what we see is, right, normally in SBL, what we see is acquisition, right, or demerger, these kind of requirements. But in PVS, they are talking about joint venture and right? They are talking about joint venture and franchise. So guys, this is kind of a different question. If students don't know about joint venture that much, he couldn't draft. If student don't know about franchise that much, he couldn't draft. Therefore, I have opted for this particular model, this particular question, guys. Right? Now, the BD director has asked you for help in addressing the issues raised by the CEO. So BD director has asked us to discuss or address the issues raised by CEO. Okay. So prepare a briefing notes for the board director, which assesses the impact of joint venture on the PVS brand and extent to which service features would be delivered. Recommend whether a franchising agreement would be better in a joint venture or not. So first question, right? And the things that you need to highlight before attempting the question are the things that you need to highlight before attempting the questions are what are they? That the format is briefing notes, the audience is the board, the marks are 18 marks, so approx 15 points, right? You know about me, right? For 18, you need to write 9 good marks that leads you towards two points each. But since we are not going to write every point a good point, so we'll be writing maximum points, right? So approx 50 points. And then evaluation skills, so pros and cons, right? Pros and cons, right? And yet we haven't read any data. We're gonna be reading the data as well, but here we haven't read any kind of data. So guys, while reading this requirement, that whether we should go for and we need to give a recommendation as well, that whether franchise would be better or joint venture. So guys, and our context should be that extent to which this service would be delivered, right? Like how this particular mechanism gonna be working if we collide, if we combine. So if you can confirm me that did you guys understood this requirement, huh? And would you guys think that this requirement is easy, normal, or difficult? Huh? What do you guys think? If you can reply to me on chat box, huh? I believe this is a medium requirement, right? I believe this is a medium requirement. You won't be saying this is an easy one. The thing is that industry is new. Some of the students might not know about the franchise agreement, so there can be a problem. Some of the students might not know about the joint venture. It's a mutually collaborated business between the two. So these are the things, right? These are the things that are something challenging for a student, right? Yeah. So I believe if we can list down the requirements, huh? If we can list down the requirements, what are the requirements that we have here? So the requirements that we have are JV versus franchise, and the marks here are approx. How many marks were there? 18 marks. Oh my god, a great marks, right? 80 for a requirement like this. And I believe when the students attempted this, they said that's a 80% of your prediction from the pre-scene went right on, right? That because we can predict the requirements from the pre-scene as well, right? So now, then the chief medical officer in the hospitality industry, you usually don't see the finance officer that much, but medical officer have a great responsibility there. So proposing investment in a technological development to drive growth. Okay, so technological development to drive growth. He has provided you with an article from the Pet Vet Journal, which covers examples from the 3 main technological areas of development to the pet vet industry, and has approached you for assistance in drafting a presentation at that how these tech developments could be delivered for growth of PVS. He would like you to consider the drawbacks, including any ethical issues, and adopting such tech developments. Guys, in today's world, remember, in today's ACCA exam, I'll be more specifically saying tech-based requirements, risk-based requirements, right, are mandatory. You should be remembering this, that you're gonna be having these requirements definitely. Now, see, this is a pet veterinary services, right? And they have a technological requirement. So how can any industry could not be tested in a tech base? So you have to be that much sure that I'm definitely going to get a question on technology. I'm definitely going to get a question on risk based, and I'm definitely going to get a question on strategy. This is for sure. For sure. Take every question in my SBL book. I've implemented all the questions, right? The questions from the 4-hour syllabus as well. I used to solve that as well with you. And the questions from these 3 hours, the 3 hours, 15 minutes, you will be seeing these questions a lot and a lot. There's no chance that these questions can be skipped, right? So strategical development is this. Okay. Now, he has provided you with an article from the PetVet Journal, which covers examples from 3 main technological areas of development in PetVet industry and has approached you for drafting a presentation. So how tech developments could deliver. So we have to do 2 presentation slides that should have ethical issues, that should have drawbacks, and how these tech developments could deliver growth and the drawbacks for PVS, including ethical issues for this change. And they are saying that they have given us article as well, right? They have given us article as well, and 16 marks for 20 marks and communication and skills. In slides, you usually see communication. This is, I have been told a lot of time, in slides, you usually see communication as well, right? So now, if we see the article, so this is it, right? I believe, because they haven't written any headings on it, so because I downloaded that, so I believe this is the article they are talking about, or this is the internal audit report, and these are the requirements, right? So we got a question from a technology as well, right? We got a question from a technology as well. So let's see this. Okay. And again, 18 marks approx. So good points again, and you have to write good points on it, right? Now, the third one is, see the third one, huh? At last, board meeting, at last, uh, board meeting, the human resource director proposed PVS strategic direction should move from being profit focused to being socially responsible. So they're kind of being the profit focused, right? They're kind of being the profit focused, and they want now to be socially responsible. They are saying that they want now to be socially responsible, right? Guys, just give me a second. So now they were being profit focused first, and now they want to be socially responsible. Okay. So he believes that CSR strategy would achieve growth due to the positive impact it would have on PVS key stakeholders. He has asked you for your help in preparing for the next board meeting and has directed you to the CSR section of PetVet journals, right? So they want a CSR section to be included in their annual report. This is kind of an integrated reporting requirement as well, but again, a technical one. See, the thing is that I have opted for this past paper. It's kind of a technical one. It was a technical past paper. Therefore, I want you guys to solve with me as well. I'll be solving this with requirement by requirement, so you should have an idea. So briefing notes again, right? HR director, which assesses how CSR strategy could impact on each PVS key stakeholders and where appropriate, how this would enable to growth in market share. Again, 20 marks, and there is commercial acumen. So they want to be socially responsible, but ultimately they want to analyze that from these socially responsible area, how they can be earning profits, right? And from this socially responsible area, how they can be earning profits. This is what they want to realize here, right? This is what they want to realize. So he has asked for your help in preparing next board meeting, the CSR section to this article. Briefing notes, HR director is the audience, CSR is the topic, could impact on our stakeholders, and where appropriate, how this will enable growth. A totally commercial based question, right? This is a commercial sense, right? That how CSR are gonna be impacting us. Because see, in today's world, people are preferring the greener products, right? So I don't want to be associated with any of the entity, those who are not following the CSR guidelines. So if you are following a CSR guidelines, that means you guys can particularly, that means that you guys can particularly reply to this question as well. Now, the strategies that are adopted following discussions will be delivered as projects. A junior human resources assistant has drafted a job description for a project manager who will be needed to support the project. So prepare an email to HR director which critically evaluates the project manager job description that junior human resource assistance has drafted. So 18 marks. So I believe, again, from skepticism skills, because you are going to check on some others' work. If you're going to check on some others' work, so obviously this is going to be a technical one, right? If you're going to check on, so we are going to check that this JD that he have made, right, job description that he have made for a project manager will be needing to support the projects, right? And you have to critically evaluate. Now you have to be skeptical there, huh? You have to be skeptical. So I guess this is the exhibit they are talking about here, right? Project managers, chief executive officer, and all that. So we're going to be reading the exhibits and then the requirements again, don't worry, right? Now the last question, then we have CSR for 20 marks and then critical evaluation of a JD for 18 marks. Okay, so CSR for 20 marks, and then we have evaluation of a JD, right, for 18 marks. So we have got some good questions, right? This is not the easy one, huh? Then the chief finance officer has received an internal audit report on the credit control department. The credit control function is centralized and department is based on PVS head office. The CFO has asked for your assistance in preparing the report. Assess the implications of each of the internal control weaknesses, identify the credit control department, recommend appropriate controls. So we have got some weaknesses in the credit control department, 24 marks, analysis skill, and I believe this exhibit, the internal audit report, right? And yes, one more thing that I want to write is risk or controls, right? Risk and controls. These are mandatory. Sometimes you'll be saying that entity is in a risk. You have to evaluate that. Sometimes you're going to be saying that entity is losing its control. So they have some weaknesses in control. So you're going to be seeing that, right? So controls and its deficiencies for 24 marks. Guys, now this is your paper, right? Controls and test of them, test of controls, right? That bit of audit for 24 marks. Now, guys, what do you think? How would you rate this paper? I would be rating this paper as a difficult one, right? Because usually, if you see the technological requirements, if you see the controls requirements, these are the technical requirements. These are not that much easy. CSR is not a frequent topic coming. Sometimes they do integrated reporting. Sometimes they do a basic chapter from that. So this is a difficult paper. If you agree with me, those who are not agreeing, they can argue with me, no problem at all. But this is one of the challenging paper. Therefore, I have opted, right? Now, what were the requirements? Just remember, the requirements are evaluation of a strategy, the growth strategy. Then the second requirement were technologically developments and what are the ethical issues and drawbacks and all that. The third requirement is CSR and how that's going to be impacting our growth and stakeholders. The fourth one is critically evaluating a JD. And the fifth one is the weaknesses and all that, right? So these are the requirements, guys. We haven't read the exhibits. So why are you taking so much time? Because I'm explaining things with you, right? I have drafted some of the questions, if you see in the LMS. So you have the drafting classes access. This is the discussion class where you can also have a discussion with me, right? So I believe we should be Start reading from here, right? This seems to be a good one. Then this, and then this, and then this, and then we'll see our things here, right? So this could also be a starting discussion, because I've taken the screenshots from the study portal of ACCA. So there might be the exhibits are not written here, but while attempting the paper there, you will be given the exhibits. So don't need to worry here, right? Now, Chief Executive Officer, our market share has been falling. So I would like suggestions on how we can grow. Oh, they're talking about growth. Okay, right? So this seems to be from requirement one, I believe. They're going to be helping us. There should be a data to the requirement one. Then business development director, my suggestion is for joint venture with B4P to establish PVS clinics in some of their stores. It would be the first collaboration of its kind. So that means that they do not have experience. Guys, you have to highlight these points so that you can draft it in your answer. That this would be the first time that we are entering in a agreement of joint venture. So there can be disputes, there can be cultural clashes. If you have seen the machine shop question of mine that I've attached in the LMS, so you can have an idea further, right? Now, B4P is the largest of Ireland's two pet superstores, with stores outside town centers in the north and east of Ireland. Although it's a low cost strategy, means it provides only the basic level of customer service, growth in customer numbers, in exceeding the growth in pet ownership. B4P customers are attracted to its superstores by low prices. So B4P customers are attracted by the low prices. So that means if someone is coming to the store, he's thinking of a low price. Guys, this is a commercial argument. Do you guys agree with me? Huh? This is a commercial argument that if you're signing an MOU if you're signing an MOU with any of the entity that's a low cost. So your customer would be thinking, if going there, that you'll be charging a low cost, right? Agree? Please reply to the chat box, guys. Do you guys agree with me? Then the extensive car parking available, the good public transport links allowing them to avoid the rising traffic in the town centers. So that means they have car parking available, good public transport connecting to their stores. So I totally see that this seems to be a constructive argument for joint venture, that they have good spaces, they have good parking facilities, so our customer would be happy to go there, right? Because see, I have been to US, and I saw that parking is something a very typical and costly thing, right? So you must be having a parking spot so that customer could come and drive easily and get the patient there as well. So an increasing number of customers are looking for pet healthcare advice, which B4P staff do not have. B4P is a very result oriented organization, so they are lacking this, right? They are lacking the advice. Huh? Just a second. Yeah. So the staff that they are usually lacking the experience how to deal with the pet issues, right? We are just the store staff, so they want someone who can consult their customers, their pet customers as well. So the consultation is being so I like the idea that they're thinking of, that we are the doctors, they are the support staff. Why not they good and go at the store, they have a shop there, so everyone who visit the stores and want a consultation, they can go. So this seems to be a good business. But again, for good business, you need good controls. For good controls, good business, you need some motivated staff, and all the things should be going on in line, right? Then, an increasing number of customers are looking for pet healthcare, right? B4P is a result-oriented organization. Its organizational values are: we prioritize pets, we dare to do things differently, we deliver results. I have an alternative suggestion. I would believe we should invest in technology. So chief medical officer don't want the joint venture. They want what they want, technology. Innovation was integral to our past success, but seems to have been lacking from our culture in recent years. So I think we should change our strategic direction from being a profit focused to being more socially responsible. We would then human resources director says this. Okay. So again, a requirement comes. Now, this can be linked into that requirement, right? So you have to plan it accordingly. We should still achieve growth, but it's also to benefit our stakeholders. So HR wants to get the benefit to the stakeholders. I don't know which companies HR wants this, but in PVS, it seems to be they want this. For example, we could focus on staff health and well-being or support local animal charities. Due to the rise in pet numbers over recent years, we could visit schools to educate children on how to look for their pets, because they're in US and in kind of that European and these markets, the pets are important thing, right? So they give the trainings as well. So these activities would have a positive impact on the way in which our brand is perceived, and it may help us to achieve the higher level of SSP accreditation. So SPP seems to be some organization that give ratings to the pet services, so they want their good accreditations as well, right? Now, our competitors continue to focus on profit, so why should we change? Donating to charities will reduce our profits and, more importantly, our dividends rather than help us grow. Oh, so COO is aggressively denying to care for donations and all that, right? So that means chief operator. Now, this seems to be a board where everyone has a different perspective, right? Everyone wants to do grow, but in a different manner. One wants growth, but with donation and but with charity. One wants to grow while doing the agreements, right? While doing the MOUs and all that. One wants growth, but they don't want to do anything, right? So this is how they're going to be working. Then our priority should be to ensure our internal processes are effective so that they can support growth. I have received a worrying internal audit report about credit control department. So they have got some bad reports of their credit control department. This department manages our healthcare plan, which enable clients to defer the cost of their pets treatment. This help us retain clients. I'll be investigating the issues raised and will update you at the next board meeting. Colleagues, we are now out of time. Please present your growth strategy ideas in detail in the next board meeting. So they came, they talked, and they went, right? Now, the leading journal for the pet vet industry. So strategies to help your organization survive. Guys, remember the requirements. If you're remembering the requirements so that you can connect. Now, this is the pattern to solve SBL. First, read the pre-scene, think of the requirements they're going to be coming, then go in actual paper, see the actual requirements, and then go and read the question. This is how you're going to be attending this paper, okay? Now, investing in technology or demonstrating CSR are two strategies which can provide competitive advantage. So this article believes either you should be technologically sound or you should be socially responsible. They both should be done in order to get competitive advantage. Okay, so three areas which technology is impacting our industry: smart collars and harness worn by pets capture. Okay, vital statistics such as heart rate, and help keep track on pets health. So it's kind of a tech based device that gives you heart rates, statistics, some good KPIs on a continuous basis. These devices can help to improve diagnosis, and yeah, the diagnosis gets improved, the results gets better, right? Quicker and more accurate treatment. New technology also facilitates simpler surgery, which significantly reduces recovery time for pets and improves outcome. So I believe that through technology, they believe or they say that through technology, treatment gets better, right? So they are saying that through technology, your treatment gets better, okay? 3D printing can create perfectly tailored custom bones and prosthetic for pets. AI powered tech can learn what is normal and abnormal and can be used. Yeah, the AI based bots can learn that how my pet is reacting and whether it's a normal or abnormal. So that bot can tell me, or the device can tell me that this is not normal, and please uh, have a discussion with them. Then what is normal and abnormal can be used to analyze lab laboratory results significantly more quickly and at least as accurately as humans. Okay. Then impact on communication. So cloud-based integrations, right? We have attempted many questions on cloud-based, guys. We have attempted many questions, huh? So management software of booking for clients and sends follow-ups, right? Telehealth often via smartphones enable for any location. Virtual consultations, so client can upload photos or videos which allow veterinarians to make straightforward diagnosis. So rather than visiting, you can get a remote diagnosis as well, huh? If you develop such things, so you can get these diagnoses as well. Then recommend appropriate treatment or propose a face-to-face consultation. So digital marketing can improve levels, huh? Digital marketing can improve a level of client attraction. So this is again a cloud-based integration. Now think of the requirement, that whether this is beneficial or the drawbacks and the ethical issues they're gonna be taking it, right? Because the requirement told us that you should be writing the drawbacks, including ethical issues and adopting such technology. So you have to think of it as well. Then, clinic management. Newer business management software also schedules consultations, show patiently records, and captures and store diagnostic image. So I believe that this seems to be the big data that you should be recording. You should be having an analysis. So this seems to be a big data kind of a thing that you should be having a record, so that from that record, the diagnosis can be done easily. See, in the medical industry, the problem is the diagnosis, right? If the diagnosis is not on time, the problem is that we cannot do anything. If let's talk about cancer. If the cancer is diagnosed at the right place, so you can medically fit that, right? But if it's diagnosed at the last stage, so we cannot do anything. So this is what, if the diagnosis should be strong, the medical treatment can be done, right? So they want, it allows veterinarians to access and analyze data and gives direct access to test results. It can also order, track, and retail medicine in the inventory, invoice clients, and all that, right? So guys, again, I believe a very good integration point. So the tech base seems to be the one, a technology that's should be having to every pet owner, so that they can just put that into the pet and they can analyze that what exactly the problem is in my pet, right? Then there should be cloud-based integration, and there should be remote connection between client and doctors, right? So digital marketing could evolve according to that as well. And then clinic management should be there, the records, the data, the big data, the integration, the test results should be accessed to everyone on a one click. Now this happens everywhere, right? Unlike the underdeveloping countries, they are not doing this, but in major developed areas, it's been happening, right? So now the CSR. There's growing public interest on how business treat their staff, how they interact with society, and what's the environmental impact, right? So research shows that 70% consumers in all in wanted to know brands they are supporting address social and environmental issues. According to the same research, employees look for and more engaged and perform better for socially responsible business. Implementing CSR can cut staff turnover to this. So guys, they are talking about that in CSR, one of the major factors is that you should be treating your staff very well, right? So if your staff is treated well, so there's a high chance that your staff turnover from 35 to can go to 13%. Now, this is what we need to discuss. This is what we need to analyze. This is what we need to think of our company, that how much staff turnover is of my company and how much it could go. Okay. So recent researches shows that 70% of consumer in Ireland want to know the brands they are supporting, right? And whether the brands they address the social needs as well. So PVS should be addressing the social needs so that they can be in the eye of the customer or be in the eyeball of the customer. So again, a tech-based exhibit. So I believe this was the first exhibit, this was the second exhibit, and this is the third exhibit, and this seems to be the fourth and the weakness exhibit and all that. Now, project manager, you will be ultimately accountable to PVS board for delivery of projects, and you will act as a point of control between the board and the project team. So project managers, JD is being evaluated. I guess third requirement: appoint sponsor, develop detailed project plan, manage projects, cross-functional, identify and manage risk, create and main documentation, work on your own, meet deadlines. Kind of a stringent JD we see. 10 years of experience in pet vet industry, 5 years in project management experience. You'll be expected to work unpaid overtime. Oh, if you're writing that in the JD, I don't think so. It's a right thing that asking them to work overtime. If sometimes it does, it's fine, but asking them to do this is kind of a bad thing, huh? Including the evenings and weekends. Mothers with young children should therefore not apply. We offer a competitive salary. Okay. And we particularly welcome applications from candidates who have had similar roles at our competitors, who are able to share details about the competitive advantage of our rivals. Guys, do you think is this a valid and ethical marketing or ethical JD? Do you guys think of it, huh? That we are asking ones to join us, those who have worked in our competitors, and they can disclose the confidential data that why they have got the competitive advantage. Do you think that this particular JD or this particular post for marketing or for hiring a person is fine, huh? How many of you thinks that yeah, it's good to go, just publish it? Anyone who says yes? And how many of you guys says no, sir? It's not good. Yeah, it's really bad, right? It's really bad. So the thing is that we cannot write just that not good, no sir, no problem. You have to draft it. Like you have to criticize. Skepticism, guys, skepticism, challenging. This is bad. How can you ask someone, like if I say you are my competitors, man, and I ask you to join me, and I'm asking you what you guys used to do there, kindly do that here. This is unethical. And the person who is doing this, the employee, he's also doing the unethical thing, right? You cannot take out the confidential information, right? So this only seems to me an easy requirement, because this could be this is a practical based requirement, we can say, huh? This is a practical based requirement, we can say. Okay, now the deficiency, what do we have, huh? So this report was requested following a client complaints about communication received from credit control department. Credit control is usually the one, those who are coming or to pay us, right? And we have allowed them a specific date. So credit control is that, right? I've my colleagues have worked in credit control, and I have directly or indirectly worked with them as well. So have an idea. It's from January to April 24. The credit control department is responsible for administering PVS healthcare plan. So the purpose of the review was to assess the effectiveness of the control with the credit control department. The credit control department should ensure a balance between receiving client payments in a timely manner and keeping the client satisfied. Yeah, that we are receiving the payments on a time frame. If we are not receiving that on a good time frame, like if I've allowed my credit of 60 days and I'm not receiving a payment in 60 days, so ideally, as per accounting standard, I need to make a provision or I need to make it a bad debt, right? So it's the credit control ones, those who are going to make sure that you have received the payment in 60 days, right? So main findings, the document credit control procedures have not been updated for 5 years, and there's no formal timetable for invoicing, sending reminders, and amounts due. Now, this is a major backlog, right? That you're not maintaining a time frame. Like if any customer came, you're not making a record that how much credit control we allowed, and that's outdated, right? Let's say when I was really rich, I came to your hospital and you allowed me 3 months time to pay. But today, my circumstances are not good. So if you will allow me 3 months time frame, I left this country and will go. right? So what's that? This is basically that you haven't updated the record. You should be updating your every customer's record. You should have a formal way of invoicing, reminders and amounts due, chasing unpaid amounts. There should be three people calling everyone to pay out, right? Passing overdue debts in outside agencies. Have you guys heard of factoring? So this is what they are talking about. That you should be passing out the ones those who are not paying you to the agencies. This is what they call factoring, right? These steps are taken on irregular basis following an ad hoc review. So whenever they have a mood to call one, they do these steps. So again, this is a major error, right? This is a major error. Now, clients' details held on PVS servers, including sensitive financial information, are not protected. All staff can access the information once they have logged on to PVS system. So confidentiality breach here, huh? So the confidentiality breach here as well, right? Then staff turnover is high. Temporary staff recruited to provide short-term support have been given insufficient training. So staff is not well trained, right? Then they are setting up new clients on the plan incorrectly and making mistakes in invoices they produce. Permanent staff are having a deal with angry clients. So there are angry clients as well, right? So staff turnover is a problem, and work extra hours to clear the ongoing backlog. So, and in fact, we have marketed as well that we want someone to work extra hours. So this is the problem. Our plan provides vaccination and routine treatments for monthly fee and enable clients to defer the cost of expensive treatment. To join the plan, clients complete a form with their personal and bank account details immediately to become a member. So they are not provided with any plan documentation. Now see, we have a plan, monthly plan, that if someone follows that, so we can get their pet kind in a normal condition, and we can delay the expensive procedures later on through following that perfect plan, right? But once the people join, we do not give them any documentation. So it's kind of a record error. And some of terms of the plan were amended earlier to improve PVS cash flows for members joining. Most March payments for expensive treatment and procedures can only be deferred for 1 month, right? Rather than 3, which was previously the case. So previously, people used to defer the payments to 3 months of the expensive payments if they join the plan. But now we amended our terms and conditions to 1 month, and we haven't announced, we haven't said everyone, right? And if we announced as well, so the people after 1st March 2004, they kind went in vain, right? So, but clinic reception staff continue to inform clients signing up to the plan that payment can be deferred for 3 months as changes have not been communicated to reception staff. So plan members who have not kept up their monthly direct debit payments and have not paid invoices by the payment deadline continue to be offered and deferred payment for further invoices. So there are certain issues, that needs to be addressed, or credit control have the problem, right? And credit control have the problem as well. If there's no monthly direct payment, so your monthly cash flow is unsure, right? If there's no monthly direct payment, so the monthly cash flow is kind of an unsure, and invoices and deadlines to continue to be offered to defer payments of further invoices, right? So this is kind of a problematic thing that we should be focusing on. So 5 major deficiencies. Now, again, to the requirements, right? Joint venture or franchising agreement. So we should be drawing a comparison. Like if we do joint venture, these are the pros, these are the cons. If we do franchising, these are the pros, these are the cons, right? Then chief medical officer, we should be tech developments, in which mainly is a device for the pet, then record keeping, big data kind of a thing, and then the third technological suggestion that they did, cloud-based integrated business, that everyone can upload photos, can do the virtual meetings and all that. So this is what, and so this seems to be the good one, but then we have to comment on the ethical issues and the tech developments that would bring, and the drawbacks as well. 20 marks. Then we have CSR thing, like briefing notes, that how focusing on CSR could improve on the key stakeholders, or could result in growth. So best part, what I see is that the answer would circulate around mainly to the staff turnover, that if you do good with the staff, if you train them well, so the turnover would be lesser, the customers would be satisfied, the CSR is made, and as well as your growth. So the answer would be drafted in 10 different points, but major of the points would be discussing the benefits of it and skill is commercial acumen. Then we have email of HR director, which evaluates the job description. This seems to be the easiest one, right? I'm going to say that this is one of the easiest one. And this similar kind of a question we have attempted in Railco named question, right? Railco named question, we have attempted a similar kind of it. So you can see that as well, and then we can draft it accordingly. Then the fifth one is deficiencies. This is also, I believe, an easy one because the deficiencies are not that much bad. So we have to discuss the implications of theirs and the weaknesses in the credit control department, right? So guys, this is a complete PVS question. Now we have to draft the answer accordingly. So we will be drafting the answer particularly to some requirements. I believe like this requirement I'll be doing for you guys. This I should be doing. These are some of the easy requirements that you can attempt as well, right? And we can discuss the answers as well. And then I'll share the examiner answers as well. And then I'll upload all these on the LMS so that you guys can have exactly an idea that how to do. So as far as for today, we should be keeping it here. What I want you from you guys, those who have attempted this class live, that they should be at least solving this requirement and then send it to me for marking, right? Probably I'll connect on Sunday as well. And on Sunday, we'll be solving 2 questions, right? And then again on Friday, we'll be solving 2 further questions or 3 questions to close this particular classes, right? So why not till then, you should at least attempt this question and send it to me. I'll give the assignment question of a complete past paper separately, but why not? You should at least send this question to me. Once you have done pre-scene, right? Make sure you have seen my pre-scene classes. Then you have seen this class, like reading a question. Now we have to attempt it, right? So before attempting it, I want you to self-attempt this question and then send it to me as well, right? So do you guys agree with this, huh? So that I can sit with you, I can draft it, and then I can show you that where you guys lacked. So are you guys clear and agreeing with me on this? Please confirm me on the chat box. See, better would be to solve an exam practice platform, right? Okay, better would be that. And the most better would be, see, I'm going to announce another question in the group as well that you have to attempt it solely by yourself, right? By seeing some extra questions of mine, then you have to solely attempt that by yourself. So try at least that particularly you should be doing these practice by yourself, because I have attempted 10-20 questions by myself, drafted, shown in the LMS, but paper would be passing if you do it by yourself, right? So till the next class, guys, please do make sure that you have attempted at least the first part of it and send it to me for marking, and then I'll particularly check it for you guys, and then we'll connect on Sunday again, probably to solve at least 2 different questions of it on the exam practice platform. Okay, so this is all from my side, guys. Any questions till now? If you have, please confirm. Otherwise, I can end up the class and we can connect on Sunday.
Assalamualaikum, sir. Hello, can you?
Let me just start the session, right? If you can confirm me in the Zoom chat box that whether my voice and screen is clear, right? Whether my voice and screen is clear. If you can confirm me, so it would be great, right? So guys, the thing is that we are in the process of solving different past papers, right? My aim is to solve maximum of the past papers, right? My aim is that. So the thing is, just a second. One of the student is saying that, you said it. Just a second, guys. Let others join as well. Just 5 minutes. We'll wait just 5 minutes and then we'll start. The thing is that students are saying that we are in process of joining. So let me share the screen again. Guys, this class is valid for only of those students, right? This class is valid for only for those students, those who have taken the pre-scene classes, right? Those who have taken the pre-scene classes of PVS, right? Because we are in process of solving the recent past papers, right? We are in process of solving that. In fact, we'll discuss this answer today completely, right? We'll discuss this answer today completely. And after that, what we'll do, after that, we will announce another question that we have to do, right? Announce another question. So we are in process of, guys, doing recent past papers. Some of the past papers I've already uploaded to LMS, so you can take it. The ones, those who want to discuss the answers live, they can join this class live and have a discussion with me, right? So this is how the things would go. And yes, one more thing is that until unless pre-scene releases, right? Until unless pre-scene releases for your attempt, which is, I believe, if we are talking about June 25 attempts, so pre-scene would release in around 20th May. So till then, you have to practice as many as past papers, right? Practice as many as past papers. Now, a lot of students ask that, whether we can skip your theory classes. Guys, would you believe that I don't even recommend to take the theory classes? Sir, then why you have recorded? Just for the students like you that they say that, sir, please have that theory sessions. The way to pass this paper is simply practice. Write down the list of SBL papers available, do solve those papers, see the examiner answers, and that's it. This is the only thing that you need to do, right? So now the relevance for today's classes, that those who have taken pre-scene of PVS, those who have taken previous live class, right? If not, I uploaded that in LMS, so previous live class. And yes, those who have taken these two classes would be now enjoying today's session, because we'll be doing the answer discussion. We'll be doing the answer discussion, right? So guys, make sure those who are attempting the class live should have known these things, right? If you have not taken these things, so today's class would be going from here, not here, not on the heart. This would go from above the head, right? So we have to be in the head. So for that, you should stop taking today's class, do these things first, and then do. All right. So all of you, the students, those who are attempting this class live, oh, I see some of the students have left the session. I guess they took my point too seriously. So all the students, those who are attempting this class live, are they done with these two things? Please tell me. On the chat box, guys, have you guys done? Please tell me. Don't unmute yourself, please. Otherwise, your voice and your pretty faces would be recorded, and I'm gonna post this on LMS so every student would see that. So please don't do that, right? Yeah. So Ibrahim, Mohsen, Daniela, are you guys done with these two things? Please tell me, so that we can move on to our requirements and our answers. Guys, so in last class, we mentioned the questions, right? In last class, uh, we mentioned the questions, JV versus franchise, it was of 18 marks. Technology based question, it was of 18 marks. CSR 20 marks. Evaluation of JD 18 marks. Controls and TOC 24 marks. So a very short paper, I believe, because normally when SPL's paper came, normally it takes 5 to 10 requirements like A, B. So they haven't done that much, so it's fine. Now let's move on to JV versus franchise. That was the question, sir. If you can repeat the question, then we can think of the pointers. And in fact, I told you to solve this by yourself as well, right? And I've got a couple of answers and I've checked that. I've reverted back, right? If I haven't reverted back, kindly remind me. So the ones, those who are left with, I'll check that and I'll be back at it again, right? Yeah. So prepare a briefing notes for board of directors, which assess for BD director, which assess the impact of joint venture on PVS brand and the extent to which PVS service features would be delivered. Recommend whether fine franchise agreement would be better or joint venture. Guys, this was the first time in SBL that franchise was asked, right? So therefore, the student got confused here because normally those who haven't covered theory or don't know that much about the franchise agreement, they didn't have that much point. But since it was the first time and everyone takes it first time, so examiner gave you some good points in the particular scenario, like we discussed that right here. In the exhibits, they gave you some like B4P customers are attracted for lower prices, and directors wanted, right? Directors wanted to grow the PVS, so either through collaboration or through going for franchises. So they gave you that, right? Like, and they wanted low cost strategy. So I want you to be attentive, right? I want you to be attentive. Now, guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you my pointers, right? I'm going to show you my pointers, that what I have made, right? That what I have made, I'm going to show you that so that you can see that what can be the points that can be made, right? And one more thing, my students, one more thing, that these are the pointers, not the draft answer. If I count on the LMS, I've attached around 10 to 20 drafted answers, like I'm writing like a maniac the complete answers, so you know how to draft. Now this is the discussion class, we can discuss the answers. Any points that I have skipped, you guys can also highlight that in the chat box, okay? So guys, this was a pre-scene that was issued, and here we came to the answer. And yes, what was the skill they have tested in this? Please tell me, what was the skill? So I remember was evaluation. Yeah, pros and cons, okay? Now, business development at director, it is our audience, right? And for briefing notes, it's FAO. Guys, please don't unmute yourself. Please mute yourself. Thank you. And then briefing notes on the potential joint venture between PVS and Best for Pets. Okay. Now, what are the factors that we gonna be considering? What are the factors that we gonna be considering, guys? One thing, one disclaimer that I want you is that these are pointers, right? Not drafted answers. You have to draft by yourself. Sir, why you are, just a second. Yeah, sir, why you are not drafting answers? Because I have already solved 12 to 13 past papers with you on LMS. So please see that, then you'll know how to draft answer. Did you guys got my point? These are the pointers. These are the points that we discuss. These are the pointers. These are the points that we can discuss. Did you guys got my point? Please confirm me on the chat box. Ashish, are you clear now? Now, whenever you are going to grow, so you need to consider on your PVS brand. The thing is that if you want growth, you need to maintain your brand, right? You need to maintain your brand. Now think of the scenario. What was exactly the scenario? The scenario was that there was a store named as Best for Pets, right? There was a store named as Best for Pets. And the store wanted that we should be opening clinics, and this would increase our reach beyond its current south location. We are currently on the south location, right? So first point would be that explaining the case, like what exactly we are wanting. This is how the professionals start explaining their case. The thing is that the case here is that PVS wants to grow. The case here is the PVS want to grow, and for that we need to open the stores, right? Are you guys audible? Am I audible, guys? Please be attentive. Huh? Please be attentive. Some people are texting me that I'm not audible, so kindly get your connection done, right? Yeah. So increased exposure to pet owners due to Best for Pets, likely to boost brand awareness. These are some of the points that we could start off, right? We could start off. Okay. Now, guys, before going on to either in joint venture or PVS, before going on to either on joint venture or PVS, we have to consider some factors just like location, innovation, quality of service, right? Now, in location point, what we can write that Best for Pet stores are easily accessible. Why? Because they have a good parking. Guys, believe me, in a countries like USA, there are a lot of parking issues, or cities like New York, right? I've been there. So there's severe cost for parking. So if someone is giving you a parking, so people can drive their pet there, and they could get them treated, right? So whatever arrangement we are doing, we should be looking for the features like location. We should be looking for a features like innovation. We should be looking for a features like quality of service, right? So though not in town centers, may be preferred due to town center congestion. Yeah. And what we're gonna be looking here, that we shouldn't be in the center areas or in the downtown areas. The thing is that if you're in downtown areas, it could be expensive and it could be congestion, right? It could be expensive and it could be congestion as well. Like there could be heavy traffic, people not looking for that and that much, right? Now, another point that we're gonna be discussing is innovation, right? If we are doing either joint venture or franchising, if we are doing that, so the thing is that this is going to be a first partnership in our industry. So this is the first time. Everything happens for a first time, but that could go to a bad situation or a good situation. Now that's totally up to them, right? That's totally up to them. This could be bad or this could be good, right? And it enhances PVS image as innovative. Why? Because we are the thought of that idea to get the franchising, to get the joint venture. So that means this can be an innovative one, right? Quality. Now, this is the risk. Anyone can point out that, sir, why quality is risk with Best for Pet stores? Why quality is risk? Anyone who can highlight the point? Anyone who can highlight the point in the chat box? Please don't unmute, otherwise your beautiful voice would be recorded and posted on YouTube. So you can be a meme material as well, right? So just text me on Zoom chat box or either on WhatsApp, like why quality of service is risk. Guys, please, are you guys attentive? Hello? You guys can listen me, tell me. Oh, one of the student has answered that it could be experience, combined experience, could be good, could be bad. Yes, this is one of the key factors. And we're going to be mentioning that in our drafted answer. That, sir, the thing is that since we own the clinic, so we could drive our service like we want. But if our clinic is in some of the stores, the services couldn't be the same as the way. Just like in Pakistan, if I tell you, there's a hospital, a very famous hospital, Aga Khan, right? The thing is that the quality of service that Aga Khan gives, it's not mandatory that the clinic named on Aga Khan or the franchise named on Aga Khan could be giving that type of service. The thing is that it's always a risk whenever you want to grow. It's always a risk whenever you want to grow, right? So budget, environment, and culture for best for pets may clash with PVS values. There could be a separate culture going on in the best for pets, and all of a sudden, we opened a clinic, we wanted something like that, and there came the clashes, there came the investment dilution, there could be questioning on the investment, right? Then basic customer services at best for pets may damage perception of PVS premium services, right? Now we have an image that we are the pet veterinary services, we are the market leader, we have that image. All of a sudden, those diluted. So this could be a problem. Amrita, Abdullah, you guys can contribute as well. So this could be a problem. Risk of clients being put off by service inconsistency. Guys, services have 5 key factors. In fact, in the APM class, I was just teaching that. So risk of clients being put on it because of service inconsistency. When they go to the PVS clinic, the services are some kind of else. When they go to the best for pets clinics for PVS, so the services are kind of different. This inconsistency could lead towards a reduction. This inconsistency could lead towards a reduction in customer satisfaction, and ultimately this could reduce customers. Guys, so joint venture supports location and innovation, but quality of service perception is at risk. Now, guys, this is the best way. Oh my God, this is the best way of evaluation. This is the best way of evaluation. What else you want? What else you want? This is how the evaluation is applied. Oh, these 2 factors are good, but one is bad. This is what evaluation is. Did you guys agree with me? One of the student has highlighted that's a uh, joint venture. One of the student, Ashish, has said that's a management and working pattern. This could be also the one, right? Management and PVS and at best for pet could be differ. And this I believe is a point of service inconsistency, right? Because services are kind of a different, so this could be a point of that. I believe you agree with me. Ibrahim, I didn't got your point. Can we write in a competitive marketplace, visibility is pivotal? Yeah, you can say that if there's a competition and we are doing the joint venture, and all of a sudden our quality or the visibility gets down, it's gonna be impacting us. Our competitor can take advantage of it. One more point can be added. Yeah, good one. Competitor can take advantage of this, right? If there's something bad happening and competitor notice it, so it could take advantage, right? And take advantage. So yeah, this could be one, right? This could be one. So franchising. Now what's that? Franchising pros. What's pros? Best for for pets pays for PVS brand and systems, right? Now, what are the pros of franchise? Again, these are the pointers, right? They cover day-to-day cost and losses if clinics fail. So pros is that Best for Pet will be doing the branding and systems because we have given the franchise to them. We have just taken the money. Now we will be just monitoring them. They are the ones those who are going to take, recover day-to-day costs, reduce capital outlay and financial risk. Now through franchising, this financial risk is lower. Through franchising, this financial risk is lower. Then cons. What are the cons? Guys, we don't have the operational control now. The thing is that we have just taken them, we have given them the franchise. So now they are the one running the operations. They're gonna be deciding what to do, how to do. There might be inconsistencies, brand risk if Best for Pets provides subpar service. Yes, could be a brand risk, and brand risk is not that much in joint venture, but in franchising there could be a significant brand risk. Why? Because they are not in our control. They can do the things better than us, and this could challenge our whole brand as well. And the third and the most important thing is this is a service, this is a general store. They lack experience in running these clinics, so how could just we franchise them? So you are writing the good points and the bad points. This is what the pros and cons is, guys. This is what the pros and cons is. So conclusion, we concludize this: lower financial risk, higher brand risk, quality concerns. So recommendation: joint ventures preferred over franchising due to better control, greater alignment. Despite financial risk, it's safer for long-term brand. So we are here. To protect the brand protection rather than thinking about the money and the financial risk. Now, see the students, those who are taking this class live, right? Around 10, 20, whatever they are. Did you guys got this requirement first? Tell me on the chat box first thing that did you guys got this requirement? Second is that I'll be questioning now. I've solved the question now, so I'm going to take the questions from you guys, and you guys can type the answer. That's if I would have opted franchising, would I be able to get the marks or not? Now, I'm a student of yours. I'm your student. Tell me. So if I've written that we should be going for franchising, so would be getting some marks. Would be getting some marks. Guys, please tell me now, guys. I'm waiting for your answer. You guys need to type, huh? Need to type on the chat box. Yes, Abdullah gave us the answer that we need to justify here some good points of franchising, and we could write that. So that means you guys are taking the classes. Thank you, God. These guys are studying. I thought they won't be studying. Thank you, God. The thing is that you know that in SBL your answer could either this or this, but you just need to justify, right? You just need to justify. So thanks to you guys. You saved me. I was questioning myself whether my students are studying or not, because I see you once a week. In fact, from the total students, half of them takes the live class. So at least you guys know that. Proud of you guys. Proud of you. Now, the second requirement. Let's read out let's read out second requirement. Two presentation slides. Okay, how technological developments could deliver growth for PVS. Okay, the drawbacks for PVS, including ethical issues, adopting such tech developments. So I believe a technical one, guys. The questions from technology, the questions from controls are mandatory. The questions from technology and the questions from control are mandatory in your exam, right? With big letters. Questions from technology, questions from control are mandatory. Examiner gives you at any cost. Okay. So yeah, guys, how technological developments could deliver growth for PVS. Now, if you guys are taking, right, if you guys are taking the classes, so you must be knowing that in slides you have to write less because you are going to make a slide, right? Because you are going to make a slide. Oh, sorry, it should be square. Yeah, slides and then notes to that. So this is kind of a shorter requirement, right? Slides are shorter, and usually in slides, since you're making the format or this type of screen is given in exam, so since you are making the formats, so what will happen since you are making the formats, so what will happen, you have to write less, and communication skill is being usually given, right? Communication skills are being usually given because you have to write some notes, some points here, and then you need to write supporting notes. I believe you guys have an idea. So yes, guys, how technological developments could deliver growth for PBS. How technological development could deliver growth for PBS. Art marks. Yes, guys. So the pointers. Now these are the pointers I'm going to write in this box, right? And these are the pointers that I'm going to write as in supporting notes. In fact, I've written enough. Okay. Now, technological enhances PVS reputation, innovation. Obviously, since you'll market yourself, that you are the one, those who have brought up first time technology in these clinics, right? So obviously a marketing stunt, it could be a good marketing stunt, I believe it could be. Please attentively read the requirements. They have told you to write could deliver growth. So your points should be only towards attracting growth, right? Rather than giving general points, you should be writing all those points that would lead towards growth, right? Boost brand image with new service offerings. And a point, new revenue streams, right? New treatments like prosthetics. Now this just the AI gave me. You don't need to name such kind of an it's not necessary, but you can say that through AI you could do online consultation, you could book the appointments, you could do new type of treatments. Don't name that, but at least the AI could bring up some new revenue sources, right? Then competitive advantage. Adoption of exclusive technologies provides competitive edge. Position PVS as a leader in healthcare. If you did this in first in the market, if you are the one first in market, so it could lead you as a leader. It could treat you as a leader. And then guys, the one is tech give you the cost efficiency. Now, it was the COVID that brought up online classes. Now, see, one student is from Europe side in this class, one student is from Nepal, one is from India, one is from Pakistan. The thing is that we all collaborated just after COVID, right? We all collaborated just after COVID, right? So, AI driven analysis lowers diagnostic costs, allowing for price reductions for clients, potential market share growth from lower service prices, right? It's a potential market service that's going to be growing, and it's going to be cost efficiency as well. Staffing efficiency could be there. We could just employ the staff that's required, that's mandatory to be hired. We could just employ that. It's the staffing efficiency. Then improve work-life balance leads to better staff retention. If through the AI you somehow manage to retain staff through giving them efficient work, through giving them a work-life balance. This could also leads to that, right? Remote consultations, we thought of that point, right? Online booking improves client experience. So yes, now through the technology, you could book online appointments, right? You could book. Now let me give you an example, right, guys? I had a work with HEC. HEC is basically Higher Education Commission Pakistan. So usually in Pakistan, what we used to do, if any of the one who's from Pakistan is here, I had work from there, right? Like I do OBU mentoring as well. So I had some work from them. So I thought I should be going there. So my family members told me that if you're going to HEC, give up your 2 to 3 days. Like you have to take off from office, you have to off your classes, and you have to go. You have to just, because it will take that much time, right? But someone told me that HEC has done all the online work. You have to go onto the website. Guys, it was just matter of seconds. I was here, I just logged in, I just made my account, whatever I had at work, I did, I paid the fees, and in 3 days, I got my all the things. Now, what this happened, now, even in the countries like Pakistan, we could not expect that our government organizations could be that much exceptional, but somehow they did. So if you're thinking of a private business, so online booking, client experience, I was totally shocked, guys, in this. I was totally shocked that how you guys have done. And in fact, in my intermediate and matriculation time, I went to HEC for some works for attestation and all that, guys. It was a mind blundering experience. Like I was regretting that what I did, right? I used to go to the in summers, throw bus and all that, but now when I just opened the portal, it was too customer friendly and too easy. So this is what technology has done. And Pakistan is not that much tech developed. Think about the countries like US, Europe side. They are too much tech developed, right? So doing business on the technology is always a good one. I hope I have cleared this point and requirement, right? That e-marketing and client loyalty, digital marketing, social media engagement improves client loyalty and retention as well. And through technology, you can do social media marketing, you can do meta marketing, YouTube marketing. This would bring up the client. Now, guys, the drawbacks for PVS, including ethical issues. Yeah, so drawback is investment. It would take significant investment. Now, this is the second slide. This is the second slide. And guys, in my answers, I am discussing more points. Just a second. Sorry. Yeah, guys. So in my answer, I am discussing more points. The thing is, while writing in the exam, you have 3 hours and 15 minutes. So you should be writing a bit less. The thing is, you should be writing a bit less. The thing is that I need to discuss more points. So at the exam, you guys are prepared and you can write a little less as well, right? You can write a little less as well. So I hope that this drawback you must have thought, everyone must have thought, right? That technologies require significant investments, right? Potentially beyond PVS financial capacity, right? Beyond PVS financial capacity, and then risk of obsolescence. Yeah, in technology, the major thing is that it gets obsolete easily, right? It gets easily obsolete. And affordability of advanced treatment, higher treatment cost may be needed to recover investments, which could limit accessibility. The thing is that if we are tech based, so we might charge higher, and if we are charging higher, so it limits everyone to assess it, right? It limits everyone to assess it. So this could be one. Ethical issues is job loss. guys. Yeah, it could easily reduce the staff, and it could create the job loss as well, right? It could create the job loss as well, and wealth inequality and potential privacy violations with AI, guys. Your customers database would be recorded, right? Your customers database would be recorded, and if customers database is recorded, so that means it could, if it went hacked, if AI did something, anything if it get hacked, or any of the bad thing happens, so the data would be lost, right? The data would be lost, and it could be used by other organizations in a bad manner. So that's always an ethical issue, right? And AI algorithms, right? Discrimination affecting PVS reputation. Yeah. See, what AI does is, if AI knows that this is the one who pays more and this is the one who pays less, so it might create an algorithm by its side, that we have to treat this with a better manner, and with the paying lower, we have to just let them go, or this kind of algorithms, right? If this made, so this could be things happening, right? This, you could see these things happening in this case, right? In this case. So right, an impact of staff well-being, right? Online consultations may reduce the staff morale, as social gathering wouldn't be once, right? So socially impacting uh, here. Then negative effect on client retention, so may reduce personal connection clients. I've written more, right? I've written more. You could write less as well. So cybersecurity risk is always there. Cybersecurity uh, is the risk that always is there. Hack cyber pose risk, ethical concerns around privacy, handling sensitive data, requiring strong data protection, guys. So this is the one requirement that's approx round, I believe, is 18 marks, right? I believe is 18 marks. Guys, these two are bit technical requirements. I believe these two are a bit technical requirement, I believe. And the reason is due to their inconsistency of being answered, right? Franchising is never tested before. It was the first tested franchising. Technology is always tested. But in this pet veterinary services, see, in SPL, industry really matters, right? In SPL, industry really matters, right? So this is kind of an industry that's not that much being followed, right? That's not that much being followed by people, right? They do not carry pet usually in these Asian and the Southeast Asian countries. So the problem is they do not have that much idea of this industry. But Europe and America, they have the pet, so they have much more idea, like how the medication takes, how what they do, what how to treat them. So this is what, if you have personal experience in this industry, you could drafting your answers much more well, right? So guys, we have discussed these two requirements, right? We have discussed these two requirements that is answer in probably the next class that would take place tomorrow same time, right? That would take place tomorrow same time. We'll be doing these requirements, right? We'll be doing these two requirements. So till tomorrow, you have an assignment. Till tomorrow, you have an assignment to attempt these two requirements and submit for checking. You have to attempt these two requirements and submit for checking. So guys, am I clear to you? Please tell me. Am I clear to you? Perfect. Did you guys understood these two requirements completely? These, if you guys understood, please tell me, right? In fact, I've given you more points. While drafting in the exam, you have to write a bit less, right? You have to write a bit less. Ashish, Daniela, Dua, Nasir, Mr. Anurag, your video camera is on. You can turn it off. You have been recorded in my recorded class, right? So if you have got clarity on these two requirements, it's perfect. Please try to attempt these two questions by yourself till tomorrow, and then send it to me for marking, right? And then send it to me for marking, right? So that's all for today. See you guys in the upcoming next class. Thank you. Hello everyone. I hope you guys are well and are in good health as well. Let me just start, right? We'll continue. Just a second, I am sharing the screen, so confirm. Let me just start the recording as this class would be recorded, right? As this class would be recorded as well as published on the LMS. Well, guys, so we have last month now, right? And in the last month, I believe that we have 20 to 25 days. So here come the original preparation that have been started, and we should be focusing on that preparation, right? So whatever your office commitments and whatever your commitments are, you need to be now in preparatory form, right? Like active your student mode. In fact, some of you I saw attended yesterday's session as well, that was held between the different students. So it's kind of a great thing that you guys are following the tips that we tutors are giving. And I'm here today going to write a complete plan for last these 20 days. Okay. So let me just write that what we are going to do. Yeah, guys. So we are in last 25 days, right, guys? So in these last 25 days of SBL, what we have to do, we have to prioritize drafting practice, right? We have to prioritize drafting practice first. Okay. So how can we prioritize? See, we are in between of solving PVS question, right? We are in between of it. We are solving it. We are discussing it, and we will do that. Then I haven't shared a recent and drafting practice of more recent past papers, right? We have to do drafting practice of more recent past papers, although you guys have the classes of some of the recent and some of the old past papers in the LMS. So the day I'm not taking any class, you have to make sure that you are taking and you are doing those past papers and getting it marked, right? What we have to do is that we have to get it marked. It's on you that you guys have to get it marked from me, right? And my SL is reverting back the in 1 day. So if you're going to send me a paper to be checked now, I'll be reverting it back by Monday. Okay. So the thing is that this question, right, we are doing in classes. Then there is another question. Now what's the name of that question? Let me just confirm. Let me just confirm. Just a second. Yeah. Now one question is Athletic Transcentral Football Club. Yeah. Athletic Transcentral Football Club. Right? One question is this. To be solved. This is to be solved. Either I'll take the class of it or you're gonna be solving it. Then there is one question named Biego, which is already on LMS, right? These are the most recent past papers. Make sure you are doing you are solving it, right? You are solving it. These are the questions that we guys have to solve. Okay, and we are in this. Okay, I was occupied by OBU because my students had the OBU submission, so we are just free from now. So we'll have a weekly 1 or 2 classes of 1 to 1.5 hours. We'll be doing these questions, right? So first thing in this 20 days, 25 days is drafting practice, right? And so how to do that? It's simply solving questions in exam time and condition. Okay, solving questions in exam time and conditions, like stopwatch, locking the door, right? Doing this, you have to do this. Okay, so it is done now. Then second on second day, what we have to do? So on second priority, we have to read the book, right? We have to read the book. So which book? My summary notes, right? My summary notes. We have to read the book of it, right? We have to read the book of it. It would take around 2 to 3 days. Although there are the classes, right? There are classes, but I would prefer if you can read by yourself, right? You have the classes on LMS, but it's preferred that you read it by yourself. Okay, then guys, third, pre-scene analysis. Pre-scene analysis, the questions or the scenario that has been going to test in your exam is going to be released by 20th May 2025 for June 25 attempt. Can you tell me how many of you students are going to attempt the SPL exam in June, right? Can you tell me? Can you just write in the Zoom chat box? Can you just write in the Zoom chat box, please? Okay. So I have many students attempting. I have many students attempting. So guys, you have to do these things. You have to do these 2 things before 20th May. You have to do these 2 things before 20th May. Sir, I have already did these 3 questions. Then do 3 others. Call me, discuss, sir, which questions I need to solve. I'll guide you. You know my number is, right? You know my number is, it's +9231 2623849, right? So you know the number, right? You know. So what we have to do, we have to do these 2 things before this. And once guys pre-scene is done, once guys pre-scene is announced, what we're gonna be doing, we'll be having classes of pre-scene. I might record it and post it on the LMS as well as, right? I might record it and post it on the LMS as well as on the YouTube. Then by 25th May, by 25th May, what I'll be doing, I'll be making 2 mocks based on pre-scene. I'll be making 2 mocks based on pre-scene. I'll be making 2 mocks based on pre-scene, and you guys have to take that. Now, you got the pre-scene that this is the industry from the ECCA that you guys gonna be getting. You got 2 mocks, the predictions that I myself have predicted the requirements. So practicing, one will be solved by me. Okay, guys? Yeah, one will be solved by me, right? One will be solved by me and one by students. And then, sir, then after that, what we have to do? after that, what we have to do, just give me a second. Just give me a second. Let me add a page here. I need to do something. I need to shift this thing because this belongs to the BT syllabus. I need to shift this, post it here. Then what I need to do, then I need to remove it. Okay, just a second. Just a second, please, guys. So then I need to shift that up. See, guys, I have the technology on paper. You cannot do these things, but through me, you can do these things, right? So, yeah, so pre-scene analysis. One will be by students, okay? And then since we know the industry, let's say, for example, in pre-scene, it's aviation industry, okay? In pre-scene, it's aviation industry. So what I will do, me and my team will fetch questions of different aviation industry, right? We'll fetch different questions of different aviation industries, okay? And what we'll do, we'll solve that, right? Like in past, in SBL or in P1, P3, or in any different body, if there are similar kind of industry being tested, I'll research it out, right? I'll research it out and I'll share it with you so you guys can practice that. Last time, I believe that was, for example, right? For example, in the last attempt in March 25, where my student had scored a Qatar top. I'll show you that. I'll show you that. So in March 25, what happened? A not-for-profit organization came, right? So after doing all practice, I noticed that this organization or this type of industry is being tested in SBL before, right? In SBL before, it's been tested. Like a question named NCCP and a question named BCO. So what we did, we solved, or our students solved these questions as a mock as well, and they get it marked. And the students, those who solve these questions, they got a nationwide top as well, right? So the thing is that it's the practice that will get you past, okay? So this is the final 20 days planner, 25 days planner. Can you guys agree with me, or can you guys just tell me if there is any question, please? Can you guys tell me if there is any question, please? Okay, so the students are saying that, sir, please share the summarized notes. Okay, let me share in the group. Let me share in the group. So I have shared those both in the group. I have shared those both in the group. Any other questions, please? Guys, I have shared in the group. Don't worry. I have shared in the group. Anything else I can prepare? Please tell me. Okay, so it is done. Now we'll go back to the PVS question. We are going to resume the PVS question that we left, right, before going on break. So resuming PVS question, and before that, what I have to do, I have to implant the other question as well. I have to implant the other question as well. So just a second. Just a second. This is Diego. So let me add a page here. So let me implant first a question on football industry, right? So just a second, so that you guys can have this PDF as well, now, for solving that question. Okay, so I've got the question, and I've, oh, sorry. Yeah, so I've got that as well. And here comes uh, the Biego as well, right? Biego is already been solved and given you on the LMS, right? So make sure you're using the best use of LMS, right? It's me who have made a lot of time, guys, and made those classes for you. Okay, so shall we proceed? Please confirm. If you guys allow me, then only I can proceed, guys. Or is there any questions? Do let me know. Yeah. So in this question, what we did in this question, we read the pre-scene first. We read the pre-scene first, and then we moved on to the requirements, right? And then we moved on to the requirements. The requirements were, I believe, here. Yeah, this is the real paper that I've been given, right? This is the real paper. A lot of papers I have been typed with you guys that have been uploaded to LMS, so you can see that as well. Now, let's, we did this part A and part B. Like these 18 and 20, so 38 marks we have solved. And then we have to go on to this question, right? We have to go on to this question. So let's just start. I'll try to take this class and another class in this week to close these chapters, right? So at last board meeting, the human resource director proposed that PVS's strategic direction should move from being profit focused to being socially responsible. Okay, so one of the director has said that you should be going on socially responsible focused. You should be going on that rather than being the profit focused, right? Rather than being the profit focused. So they have asked you to do that. Okay, they have asked you to do that. Now, he believes that a CSR strategy would achieve growth due to the positive impact it would have on PVS key stakeholders. They believe that going on CSR would give us the positive impact as well. And he asked for your help in preparing for the next board meeting and has directed you to the CSR section of the Pet Vet Journal article. So a CSR section as well. So prepare briefing notes for the HR director, which assesses how CSR strategy could impact on PVS key stakeholders and where appropriate this would enable growth in market share. So you have to analyze that whether this strategy is a good fit or not, and obviously this requires commercial acumen because before that you were profit focused, and now all of a sudden you are CSR, socially responsible focused. So these two things kind of have a very bad impact on our shareholders. So therefore, let's discuss it in 20 marks, guys. 20 marks, briefing notes, audiences, HR director. These are the key things that you have to know, right? Commercial acumen is there. Commercial acumen is there. Awareness of the impact on PVS key stakeholders. Okay, so this is what we have to go for. And now, sir, any exhibits to this? So I believe they discussed this in the question. They discussed uh, this in this exhibit, I believe. No, this was a CV evaluation. Yeah. So here they have discussed in the paper that there is a growing public interest on how businesses treat their staff. So people are focusing on how now. Now see, you have to while drafting, guys, you have to keep question in mind. Okay, question in mind, and what you have to do, and you have to keep pre-seen in mind. So refer to both things in drafting, you get passed. Refer to both things in drafting, you get passed. Okay, so this is the thing. There is a growing public interest on how businesses treat their staff, how they interact with society, and their environmental impact. Okay, so recent research shows that 70% of consumers in Ireland want to know the brands they are supporting address social and environmental issues. And I believe this country's people are focusing too much on environment, right? People focusing on environment, and if and people are focusing on environment, that means if when people are focusing on environment, that means that you have to be environmentally focused, otherwise people won't like you, right? People won't like you. According to the same research, employees look for and for more engaged and perform better for socially responsible businesses. Implementing CSR can cut staff turnover by 35% and increase productivity by 13%. And they have made some serious claims, guys. They have made some serious claims that if you do the CSR, so it could reduce the turnover by 35%. It could increase the productivity. So it's kind of a winning solution for you guys, huh? It's kind of a winning solution, you guys. Okay, so while there are costs associated with CSR and consumers are becoming more aware of greenwashing, CSR has been shown to create a significant value and benefit the bottom line. And benefit the bottom line. Okay, guys. So this was a discussion on CSR that we had. And let's refer the pre-scene as well if there has been any discussion on CSR. So it would be great if we can see that. In just a second, huh? Sorry. Uh, just a second, if we can see the pre-scene as well. Yeah, so here's the pre-scene. Let's see if there is discussion on CSR. We could link, guys. This you have to remember this pre-scene, right? And therefore, I take 3 to 4 classes as well on pre-scene as well. So industry client choose clinics. They can travel easily. They can get more quickly in an emergency. No, there is no discussion on pre-scene here. Challenges. Still, yeah, here, yeah. Pet healthcare has a large carbon footprint. Yeah, so they have discussion there, right? And due to waste medicine, there have been a recent negative press reports on human healthcare industry, which have been the negative sustainability on the pets as well. And let's see, this was the industry information. Let's see in our company, do we have any risk? There is a health and safety risk. So guys, I believe that in the pre-scene, see, they have given you the career opportunities, website extracts. So if they have given side extracts that, and therefore the question as well. So see, pre-scene relates. Pre-scene tell you that okay, this is how pre-scene tells you testing, because here they give you the advertisement, they need you to evaluate. Okay. So on pre-scene as well. So right, HR, which assess how CSR strategy could impact on each of PVS key stakeholders, and where appropriate, how this would enable growth in market share. Okay. So right, if we are following a structure of briefing notes, so a common structure of briefing notes is FAO. Okay. FAO, HR director, subject, and then staff impact, right? And then staff impact. Okay. So for 20 marks, you need to write at least,
your voice
guys,
is not clear.
Just a second. Let me just check. Guys, if you guys can confirm me whether my voice and screen is clear, because one of the students is saying, I believe that it's the internet issue from your side. Can you confirm me, guys, please? Okay. So guys, thank you, Dua, for highlighting it. So guys, if we are attempting a 20 marks question, right, at least 16 to 18 points, right? At least 16 to 18 points. Sir, but for 20 marks, we need at least 10 points. Guys, are you sure that for these 10 points, you're going to get 2 marks each? Are you sure on that? Since you are not sure, and since the paper is on typing, so why not we make some extra points? I am not minding if you attempt 90 or 95 marks paper, but with extra points. And I will mind if you attempt 100 marks paper, but with limited points, right? So that's the strategy, that you need to write more, so that you can get the right things, right? So now, HR director of PVS, this is the briefing notes. Now see, guys, for going CSR, there are different people, different impacts. There's going to be impact on staff. There's going to be impact on society. There's going to be impact on customer. There's going to be impact on, let's say, customer, society, staff. Yeah. Registering agency, the one who gives licenses. There's going to be impacts on customers as well, right? So you need to discuss all the positive concerns for these 20 marks, right? Now these are pointers. I'm not drafting these pointers. So why? Because I have solved approx 20 questions that are on LMS, that includes drafting. You have to see that here we are going to discuss some points. In fact, if you guys want to discuss one of the points, please raise your hand, and I can allow you to unmute yourself so that we can discuss, right? I can allow you to unmute yourself so that we can discuss. Now, guys, if we are going on CSR, let's evaluate the staff impact, right? So what are the initiatives of CSR we are going to take? What are the initiatives of CSR we are going to take? So, sir, the initiatives of CSR that we are going to take is, right? The initiatives of CSR that we are going to take is focus on staff health, work-life balance, and volunteer opportunities. We are the one those promote staff health, work-life balance, volunteer opportunities to staff. This would enhance the confidence, right? This would enhance the confidence of staff. This would enhance the commitment of staff, that we prefer them, right? You have to write that this initiative would allow our staff to work more. As in the question also, they have told that there would be staff turnover 35%. There would be staff turnover 35% being increased. Guys, do you guys agree with me? Huh? Do you guys agree with me here? Please confirm me. Please confirm me. Similarly, aligns with our values of integrity and diversity. This is from pre-scene. There, they have written the values of yours. So if you prefer CSR, this could align with our values. Do you guys agree? Now see, two paragraphs, like one para here, second here of three liners, third here, fourth here, and fifth paragraph. So similarly, for every point, we need to at least write 3 to 4 paragraphs, and boom, 20 marks done. Similarly, staff engagement would improve. It will allow us to retain, right? And attracts new talent as well. Okay, guys, please allow me 5 minutes. I'll come back in 5 minutes. Try to think of new points as well. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay. So we were discussing that what could be the impacts. We were discussing that what could be the impacts on being sustainable. So it has a positive impact on our staff, now on our clients. So as far as clients' impact are being considered, right? So CSR would make us a differentiator. Now to start like this, that CSR would make us a differentiator. Guys, can you confirm me what's differentiator? That means that we do not do the price wars, our product is different. We do not do the price wars, our product is different, right? It gets you the differentiator, right? And one point, this is the first point. The second point is from pre-scene, that 70% of our land consumers prefer socially environmental responsible brands. The people loves the environmental friendly brands, right? The people love the environmental friendly brands, right? So how can we know about the pre-scene, guys? Before solving this question, I asked you to take my classes on pre-scene. Remember? Before this question, I asked you to take my classes on pre-scene, okay? Then transparent CSR commitments help build trust, attract and retain ethically minded clients. Yes, if you are doing the ethical way, if you are doing the things in the ethical way, it enhances your reputation, it enhances the trust, and ultimately it gonna be giving you the benefits. Ultimately, it gonna be giving you the benefits, right? Do you guys agree with me? Any questions if there is? Do let me know. Just a second. Huh? Do you guys agree with these points? Huh? Please confirm, please. And you can tell me your points as well, right? There's no mandatory. You can tell me your points as well. Right? Then, sir, CSR, yes. One more good point is that it's not just a cost making tool, it's a growing tool as well, right? Being sustainable, being green friendly gives you a long term benefit, right? Being green friendly gives you a long term benefit, right? It gives you a long term benefit. So here you discuss that this is just a growth tool, but crucial for sustainable and socially conscious market. Now, guys, if we are going on green products, yeah, guys, if we are going on green products, the best thing would be, right? The best thing would be CCVP accreditation. Now, that means higher SPP accreditation means CSR strategy increases likelihood of gaining higher accreditation. Now, one more thing. If we got a certification from local body, right, that we are preferring CSR, we are preferring CSR, and we are preferring we are being ethical, we have the certificate, this would enhance a further reputation, and this would offset any allegations, right? Any allegations, if there are any allegations, so that good reputation can offset it, right? And obviously being ethical attracts some good clients. So 2 points here. Then, right, addressing AVU's concerns, protect PVS brands and client retention. Uh, you can avoid this. You can avoid this because there haven't been discussion on AVU. So you should be not writing that, and you should be saying that PVS brand and client retention, though unlikely to drive immediate growth. Yeah, this would enhance our brand image, right? This was enhance our brand image, and you should be knowing that many businesses are now being um, are now being green friendly products. Like when I go to the any shop for juice, I know that there were plastic straws, but now it's not plastic, it's paper straws. So people are preferring the green products, right? And community, right? Community as well. We should be doing community engagement as well, right? Like supporting local charities, building brand awareness. We shouldn't be just being our product shouldn't be just green, we should be doing charities as well. That's also the CSR. So being profit focused, we shifted on CSR focused, and we saw that every stakeholder, right, is being satisfied. Every stakeholder is being satisfied, right? And then at last, there should be a conflict as well. Sir, which conflict? Sir, which conflict? Sir, which conflict? That some shareholders may prioritize dividends. Yeah, when we are doing CSR, there can be some people, they can ask us that why you are not giving us that much profits. They can ask us, huh? Just be prepared for themselves. They can ask us that why you are not being or not giving us profits, right? So CSR investment is likely, then you need to make them aware. You need to make them aware that it's likely to increase profits and dividends for longer term, right? You need to make them aware that it's likely that this is going to give you the dividends in longer term, right? Although for shorter term, it's a costly thing. For shorter term, it's a costly thing, but for longer term, for longer term, give you, this could give you profitability. Okay. Did you guys agree with me? Please confirm. Please confirm me that do you guys agree with this point, or you want to be adding a certain more points as well? So please confirm me. Huh? Just a second. Yeah. So guys, do you agree with me? Please tell me. So conclusion would be that strategy aligns with growth objectives, improves staff well-being and productivity, giving you a competitive advantage, conclusionizing all points, right? Conclusion includes all points, all short points or summary points discussed above, right? It gives you ethical clients, long-term survival, supporting community engagement, right? It gives you community engagement as well. It gives you community engagement as well. So do you guys agree with me? Please confirm me so that we can say that, yeah, we have done this requirement. Have you guys have any question on this requirement? Please tell me. Yeah, Dua has highlighted some good points like customer would buy these products, government would provide us funds. Yeah. Some points via government. Yeah, government could add a good point as well. Like you should be saying that government would be happy. They can give us some tax rebates. They can give us some grants, being the green friendly. If the government wants that, and in the pre-scene we know that the government is focused on being green as well, right? So yes, guys, I believe some good question now. Now let's go to the planner, right? So this question is on my table. I am going to solve. This question is on LMS. You guys have to take. This question is your assignment that I have shared in the group, right? First read pre-scene, then see pre-scene classes, then attempt the question and submit it to me for marking. Inshallah, we'll have a class tomorrow as well, right? At the same time, we'll have the class tomorrow as well at the same time, so we can close or we can do another part of the question. If there are any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, I would turn off the. Let's just start with our question that we left there, right? Let's just start from our the question that we left. We were doing PVS, right? We had read the pre-scene. We did different types of requirements that were asked us to be done. So we have done that. And now, what we are left with, some of the requirements that we need to attempt, right? Now, on the question 3 that we do have is the strategies that are adopted following discussions at the next board meeting, right? The strategies that are adopted following discussions at the next board meeting will be delivered as projects. So guys, we are on to the next question of PVS, one of the recent past paper, right? So we have done this question, we have done this question, we have done this one as well, and now we are on to this. The thing is that these questions, I believe, are mandatorily to be attempted. The question that ACCA releases recently, right? The questions that ACCA is releasing recently, because it is what they are testing. So what my classes till pre-scene would be that at least solve one or two recent past papers. At least you guys solve some past papers, and then we can wait for the pre-scene and design all the things, right? So the strategies that are adopted following discussions at the next board meeting will be delivered as projects. A junior human resource assistant, guys, wherever a junior human resources are being said, that means there are chances of error and you need to adjust it, right? So there are chances of error and you need to adjust it. has drafted a job description for a project manager who will be needed to support the project. So we have drafted a JD, we will be saying, job description, we will be saying JD for a project manager, okay, who will be needed to support the projects. So the HR director has asked you to review the draft. So you are going to review it, that whether the draft is fine or not. Email is the format, HR director is the audience, and you have to critically evaluate. Guys, whenever you see this verb, you know that the skill we are going to be tested is skepticism, right? The skill that we are going to be tested is skepticism. See here, right? Skepticism. So prepare email for HR director, which critically evaluates the project manager job description that the junior human resources assistant has drafted. So in order to hire a project manager, he have drafted a job description. But sir, we are studying SPL. Do we have to answer the questions like this? Yeah, this is the second time they have asked like this, right? In first time, if you guys have attempted a question named Railco, they have basically tested evaluation of CVs in this, right? So see, it's SPL, it's very generic. And I believe this requirement is the easiest one. Why? I believe these requirements are, this is the requirement that's easiest one. Why is this easiest one? Anyone who can answer in the chat box. The thing is that it's very practical, right? And if you're doing a job, it's very practical. If you're doing a job, so it must be easy. For job ones, it must be easy. They know how to advertise a particular job, right? They know how to advertise a particular job. Guys, one thing that the requirements are certain easy, sometimes they are difficult. The ones, those who are going to decide what to do are the you ones, right? You need effective practice, right? Effective practice in these last days. I'll be communicating daily, right? In these last days, I'll be communicating with you guys daily, right? So that you are motivated. So make sure the questions that I have already solved and recorded, right? The questions that I have already saw the examiner answer of those, right? Read the examiner answer of those, so that you can develop your answers, right? So that you can develop a tone just like examiner is doing, right? So well, in this question, I believe let's go to the exhibit. The strategy to attempt is simple. Refer exhibits, right? And refer pre-scene where it is possible, right? And one more thing, guys, I'm going to show you pointers, right? I'm going to show you pointers. What you have to do, I'm going to show you pointers. You have to draft answer by yourself, right? Draft answer by yourself. Once we have discussed, try drafting it and send it to me for marking. So won't you be drafting these questions? Guys, I have drafted more than 15-20 questions, have uploaded to LMS, and it is with you guys. You can easily take that, right? I have made that, I have uploaded that, and you can easily see that. So I'll show my pointers. You're going to be drafting answer and getting it marked, right? And one assignment is already pending on you. And the homework was football question, right? That was also a recent one. And I believe in a day or two, ACCA would release one more paper. In a day or two, I believe ACCA would be releasing one more paper, right? So we have to see that as well. Yeah. So go on to the exhibit. So that, yeah, here's the exhibit, right? Exhibit 3. Here is the exhibit. Now what's it saying? Job title, project manager, chief executive officer. You'll be ultimately accountable to the PVS board for the delivery of projects, and you will act as a point of contact between the board and the project team. So job overview. is point of contact, and you are going to be in between the board and the project team, and you are ultimately accountable to PVS board. Okay, responsibilities: appoint job sponsor, develop a detailed project, develop a detailed project plan, manage projects on day-to-day basis, manage cross-functional teams. Now think of the exhibit, that whether this is fine or not, right? Think of the exhibits, that whether this is fine or not. Okay. Similarly, carry out monitoring and control activities to ensure all projects are delivered on time. And skills and experience: you must be able to work on your own, meet deadlines, monitor and control, motivate others. Ideally, 10 years of experience, 5 years of project management. You'll be expected to work unpaid overtime. Oh, they are writing that as well, unpaid overtime, including the evenings and weekends. Mothers with young children should therefore not apply. We offer a competitive salary with benefits package. We particularly welcome applications from candidates who have held similar roles at our competitors, who are able to share details about the competitive advantage of our rivals. Okay, so guys, if I see this, so this is the job advertisement, and we need to critically evaluate that, right? We need to critically evaluate that. Guys, what do you think? I need some participation on chat box, right? On chat box, I need some participation. What you guys think? Whether this is appropriate job marketing, whether they have marketed it appropriately, or you think no, it isn't that much appropriate, right? There are because this is the skepticism skill, and if there is a skepticism skill, right? So that means if there's skepticism skill, you need to identify the loopholes here, right? This is what skepticism allows you to do, right? Any suggestions you want to make, right? Any suggestions you want to make? Like, the first problem that I see here is whom I am reporting to, like whom this person would be reporting. There should be don't you think that there should be written, huh? Guys, let's say it's 16 marks, so you have to write for 16 marks, huh? You guys have to write this for 16 marks, so you have to discuss, huh? Kindly think of the points. Sir, how can I think of the points? You have to do maximum past papers. Sir, how can I do maximum past papers? Just go open your LMS. I have attached many past papers solved by me. Trust, see half of those, do the rest half by yourself, and that's it. Be prepared on pre-scene and your paper is done. This is what you have to do, right? So reporting, whom we report, is not that much clear. I believe that responsibilities, I believe another issue here is responsibilities being subjective, right? I believe another issue that's here is responsibilities, they are being subjective. They are too much subjective, I believe, right? It's too much subjective, rather than a clear responsibilities should be there, right? So guys, let's move to this requirement: email HR director, which critically evaluates the project manager job description and junior human resource assistant has drafted. So guys, we need to highlight the errors, and I don't think so that this requirement is being linked with any of the pre-scene information. So I don't think so it's been linked that much. So we can just ignore that. Yes, here. So again, an email format is here, right? Email format is here. We have got the audience as well, right? We have got the audience as well. External consultant for June 2004, draft job description. So dear HR director, you need to start like this, start like a professional, right? Start like a professional. Okay. So I trust this email finds you well. Following our discussion, I have reviewed the draft job description for the project manager role prepared by the junior HR assistants. And below are the key points that needed to be addressed, right? Below are the key points that needed to be addressed, okay? So what do you guys say? One error that I found, that the project manager should report to the project sponsor, not the CEO. Yeah, this is the problem. This is the problem. See, go on to the requirement and see there. Guys, these are pointers. You have to draft it accordingly, right? You have to draft it accordingly by yourself. I've told that. You are going to report CEO, right? So whom we are going to report? It's CEO. But we should be reporting to project sponsor, the one who is sponsoring the project, right? We should be reporting to that. We should be reporting to that. Who's the one who's going to leading the project, right? If we are project manager, we shouldn't be reporting to CEO, right? We shouldn't be reporting to CEO. Similarly, other answers, huh? Other answers. See, the sponsor typically holds the most investment in the project and guides the project's direction. Yeah, the sponsor is the one who's going to be leading the project. So every resource, right? Every resource associated with the project, every resource associated with the project shall be every resource associated with the project shall be reporting to project sponsor, shall be reporting to project sponsor. Okay. Then we have job overview. I told you, huh? Job overview. This is and yeah, the CEO would be only a high level oversight. Huh? CEO would be only a high level oversight. CEO might only be there for a high level oversight, not that much, right? Then we have job overview. Huh? Then we have job overview. What's that? The project manager is responsible for the project's delivery, not overall accountability, which lies with the project sponsor. Huh? Let's say, let's say, let's say if the investment is short, okay? If the investment is not sufficient, huh? Let's say if the investment is not sufficient, so what's gonna be happening? The problem would be that project would stop, okay? The problem would be that project would stop, but ultimately who's gonna be responsible? In this case, guys, please participate. Who's gonna be responsible? It's through the job description, it's the manager, but ultimately here the responsible should be the sponsor. Why? Because the investment who's going to be bringing in is the sponsor, not the manager. So therefore saying that from the start till the end, completion of the project is project's manager responsibility. The problem is it's wrong. It should be project sponsor's responsibility, right? It should be project sponsor responsibility. Then clarify that the role involves strategic projects requiring a candidate with strategic level experience, right? So you need to clarify that as well, that if you're working on some strategic projects, you need a candidate with this experience as well. This clarification should also be given. Huh? This clarification should also be given. If you see here what they have said, 10 years experience in this, 5 years of project management experience. But if you are saying that you need some strategic projects you will be working on, so better strategic projects if you are working on, so you should be asking the person who have worked on strategic projects or who have an experience on strategic projects. Did you got this? Then responsibilities, right? Then responsibilities. I believe that project manager's responsibilities is develop the plans, manage day-to-day activities, handle risk, and maintain documentation. The sponsor manages overall projects, aligns with its strategic goals and risk appetite. And team management, the project manager doesn't appoint the sponsor, but help appoint the project team. So which will return the functional roles after the project. So these responsibilities shall be clearly mentioned, right? These responsibilities shall be clearly mentioned. That project manager's role is to develop project plans, right? Project manager's role is to develop project plans, day-to-day activities, that there's any hurdle in day-to-day, we have to resolve, right? If there's any hurdles in day-to-day, he have to resolve. Similarly, he have to handle the risk, and similarly, he have to maintain the documentation. The sponsor is the manager of overall project, and he is the one who's going to drive the project with PVS goals and risk appetite. It's not the manager, it's the sponsor. And project manager doesn't appoint sponsor, but may help appoint in the team. And the manager is going to decide what's the team or who's going to be in the team, right? It's the manager who's going to decide. So I believe that there is an inappropriate listing. Just a second, sorry. Yeah, there has been an appropriate listing of the job roles. I believe, yeah, there are many other errors like writing unpaid overtime. This seems unfair as well, right? Create a project plan, appoint the project sponsor. It's wrong. You cannot appoint the sponsor. Sponsor is the one who's going to be leading this project. How you can appoint? You should be reporting to the sponsor, right? The juniors and their error, pathetic. Then skills and experience, huh? Skills and experience. You are asking 10 years experience, guys. It's too excessive. Who's gonna be working for you guys if you are demanding just 10 years experience, huh? Just like you people, you are the leaders, and you'll be wiped out from this because you don't have 10 years experience, right? So 10 years seems to be excessive. Leadership, team collaboration, communication, this should be the skills you should be wanting, rather than yeah, some knowledge is good, right? Some knowledge is good, guys. Asking too much knowledge, or asking that it's mandatory, right? It's mandatory that this industry knowledge is required. It's not mandatory, right? It's not mandatory. In fact, I have in my corporate journey, I have switched between different industries, from manufacture to service, then manufacture. So it's not mandatory, although I haven't got that much a big role. But the thing is that it's not mandatory that the person should be of similar industry. It should be of different industry, right? Similarly, remove the expectation of unpaid overtime. Instead, use wording such as occasionally expected to work overtime, guys. Writing that you have to wait or you have to sit for overtime, or writing that you won't be paid on overtime. It's unethical, right? Or more than an unethical, it's unprofessional, right? It's unprofessional. Similarly, non-discrimination. The statement excluding mothers with young children is discriminatory, and you nation as well. So try to not to do that, right? Try not to do that. Okay. Then confidentiality clause. Remove the last statement implying preference for candidates willing to disclose confidential information, as it could breach confidentiality agreements and legal standards, and unethical as well. There's too much points to discuss here. The point that they have written here: candidates who had similar roles and are competitors who are able to share details about competitive advantage. What type of ethics is this, huh? This is breach of professional behavior. I must say this is breach of confidentiality, and these points can be discussed, right? And these points can be discussed. Did you guys agree with me? Huh? Did you guys agree with me? Other points, if you want, you can add. I just have got these pointers, but you can add others as well, right? You can add others as well, like time of application, like how many till what date we are explaining, we are accepting the applications. It should be discussed, right? Time of applications, till what date we are accepting the applications, it should be discussed. Similarly, yeah, the payment range. Yes, payment range. They have said the market competitive, so that won't be that much good point, but you can write. Since there's no negative marking, you can write. So payment range, yeah, payment range is one. Or saying weekends working, I guess it shouldn't be mentioned as well. And in fact, try to increase the team so that no weekend working, right? Try to increase the team so that no weekend working. Got it? No weekend working out. I trust this feedback will be helpful. Feel free to reach out. This is how a professional ends, right? This is how a professional ends. Okay. The name of your company and external consultant. Did you guys got this? Huh? Would you be saying that, sir, this was a difficult requirement? Huh? Would you be saying, if you can tell me that whether this was an easy or difficult requirement? I believe this was too much easy, right? I believe this was too much easy considering the case. Yeah. At this attempt, pet vet services attempt, the industry was difficult, right? At this pet vet, this attempt, the industry was difficult. But yes, the industry was difficult, but the requirement seems to be a bit easy, right? Do you guys agree with me? Please confirm. Just a second, guys. Yeah. So, guys, let's go on to the last question, I believe, right? And for 18 marks, I must say that we have written enough, right? For 18 marks, I believe we need to write at least 15 points. So it's enough, I believe, right? It's enough, I believe. Then again, you're going to be drafting this paper completely and then sharing it with me, please, so that I can mark it, right? Although I have discussed every possible answer, but you need to do it. Now, the CFO has received an internal audit report on the credit control department. The credit control function, Do you guys know what is credit control? It's basically those who are assigning the debtors a limit, and then they track on that, yeah, our debtors are paying on time. They are the creditors, right? They are the credit control. The credit control function is centralized, and department is based on PVS's head office. The CFO has asked for your assistance. Prepare a report for CFO, assess the implications of each weakness, and identified in the credit control department, recommends appropriate control analysis. Guys, I believe this type of questions have already been tested in audit and assurance exam. In your AA exam, you have already seen questions like TOCs, like control weakness, their controls, and their test of controls. I believe you must have got this. Huh? I believe you must have got this type of questions, right? In your audit and assurance exam. So let's go to the exhibit and see the weaknesses. Okay. Yeah, guys. So what are the weaknesses? The report was requested following client complaints about communications received. The credit control department is responsible for administering PVS healthcare plan. The purpose of review was to assess effectiveness of controls within the credit control department. The credit control department should ensure a balance between receiving client payments in a timely manner and keeping clients satisfied. So main findings. The documented credit control procedures have not been updated for 5 years. Oh my God. And there is no formal timetable, invoicing, reminders, due, unpaid amounts, collection for taking legal action. These steps are taken on irregular basis. Guys, so do you think this is a weakness? Yes, this is a weakness. You haven't updated your records for 5 years. You haven't got any timetable, any reminders, and any all that. So there's a high chance that these debtors could go to the bad debt, or you need to increase your bad debt allowance as well, right? There's a high chance of it. So every CFO, consultant, internal control weaknesses. I believe you know now how to start. Weakness 1, lack of regular reviews and no formal timetable, right? So what are the implications? Try to write that. Receivables are not reviewed regularly and no formal collection timetable exists. Cash flow will be negatively impacted. Guys, in the organization that I work, we do regular reviews, right? In the organization that I work, we do regular reviews of the creditors or the debtors, right? We used to remind all the sales team to call them to make sure, or our system send the reminders as well, the SAP system. So the thing is that if you're not doing these type of things, there's a high chance that whether there is bad debt or not, we don't know. But the problem is that you won't be getting cash on time and your cash flow would be in problem. You won't be getting cash on time and your cash flow would be in problem, right? So cash may arrive later than expected and amounts may be lower than anticipated. One more thing, see, what companies usually do, you could write that point as well, right? And what our company used to do, since I belong to the corporate, so I can connect this with that. What our company used to do, when they get cash, rather than investing, they separate the profit element, what the profits they have got, and that profits are being in the investment in bank. And when they go into the bank, they earn profits or interest. And from those interests, they manage their daily expenses of the company, right? So companies have adopted these strategies as well. So if you're not getting the cash on time, the problem would be you won't be getting the profit on time. You won't be investing your money. And if you're not investing your money, you won't be getting the interest. So how are you going to be managing your daily operations, since it's been a cycle of many that they do earn the profits and they invest that, and then they withdraw that investment on the time of salaries and all that. I hope I'm being able to clear everyone that what I'm trying to say. Do you guys Got a clarity on my point? Please write on the chat box so that I can identify, right? Then this could affect day-to-day operations. Just a second. Yeah. One more thing, guys, that if your cash flows are impacted, I have seen those entities, those who survived without profit, right? I've seen those entities, those who survived without profit, but the entities haven't survived without cash. So cash is a mandatory thing. You must be having that thing, right? Then this could affect day-to-day operations, preventing payment of staff and suppliers on time. And yeah, one more thing, staff and supplier would be kind of an hesitant with us, right? If we are not paying them on time. Additionally, bad debts would need to be written and reducing profitability. So client impact, late reminders for payments could damage client satisfaction and public perception, right? Then resulting in a loss of clients and reputational damage. Recommendations, a formal timetable, collection and implementation, and periodic reviews. Yeah, the credit control manager should review it, right? Credit control manager should review it. Then considering adopting automated reminders. Yeah, we used to do that. I remember we used to do that, right? Automatic reminders being sent by the system so that everyone knows. Sometimes the people forget. So everyone knows that when we are going to pay them back. Okay. Then the second issue, let's go on to the question and read that. This is the best way to solve these type of questions, right? Like weaknesses. Go read and then have client details held on PVS servers, including financial information, are not protected. All staff can access the information once they have logged. Oh, our client can be accessed by our staff. So this is a major problem, right? Sensitive client information is at risk. You know that. Hackers and dishonest staff, they could extract that information and sell to our competitors that this is the best customer of PVS. Kindly contact them, offer them discounts. This could happen now. There can be dishonest staff as well with no sufficient protection on PVS servers. Okay, the risk of viruses and all that. Legal implication arises by potential breaches with PVS liable for loss of corruption of data, right? So client may feel that data is unsafe. Yeah, client also might feel that their data is unsafe. Client also might feel that their data is unsafe. Similarly, resulting in decreased business and loss of reputation. So recommendations, implement enhanced cybersecurity measures, firewalls, regular systems, staff training, right? Protocols, and ensure compliance. Make sure your staff is trained. Make sure staff is compliant. This is what the best thing, right? Similarly, the third problem here is staff turnover is high in this department. Oh, staff turnover is high. Temporary staff recruited to provide short-term insufficient training. They are setting up new clients on the plan incorrectly, making mistakes in invoices. Permanent staffs are having to deal with angry clients. So there can be a mismanagement of client, what I see here. There seems to be a mismanagement of clients. So the best would be that hire more permanent staff, give them incentives to stay, right? So inadequate training results. Inadequate training leads in errors, leading to client dissatisfaction and potential loss, right? A backlog of work causes delays in payments, right? Overworked staff with increased turnover exaggerates the issue as temporary staff becomes increasingly difficult, right? And finding temporary staff. This was from pre-seen that in this industry, temporary staff is not that much working. Then cash flow mistakes such as incorrect client setup and invoices, delay payments, right? If you're setting in wrong invoice, they'll be delaying payments, right? Cash flow and operational efficiency. So comprehensive training program in the credit control, mentorship system of cross-training all the staffs, right? There should be regular trainings. We used to attend regular trainings as well, right? From the organizations. And yes, balance the workload, guys. This is one of the key control here. Balance workload. Sir, do we have to write that much points? Guys, I'm trying to write more and more so that in exam you at least write that much that it passes, right? That it passes. So, yeah, lack of documentation of payment plans. Let's read this, what they are saying. Let's read it first.
Sir, I have a question. If you don't mind, can I ask?
Yes, you can ask.
Sir, the way you have written in the points, can we write it that way or we have to write it paragraphs?
We have to write in paragraph. These are the pointers, right? You have to explain and write it in paragraph. Just like I have solved the previous questions, you can see those classes in which I have drafted. But since now we have attempted too much questions on drafted, so I'm trying to solve recent questions with you guys through pointers. Like these are the points that we can write and you have to explain it on your own.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Then the fourth weakness was, let's see. Our plan provides vaccinations and routine treatments for a monthly fee, okay, and enables clients to defer cost of expensive treatment, okay. So what happens is that we provide the plan that skip the long medication and try to give us a monthly fee and get a routine checkup and all that, right? Clients complete a form with their personal and bank account details, immediately become members. They're not provided with any plan documentation. So here's the error. If someone is joining your plan, there should be a documentation, right? There should be a documentation. Then some of the terms of the plan were amended earlier in this year. Payment of expensive treatments and procedures can only be deferred for 1 month rather than 3 years, as it was previously the case. Oh, then you have basically changed a significant term that previously the expensive treatment could be delayed for 3 months, but now you have done it for 1 month, and I don't know whether this change have been communicated to students or communicated to customers or not, right? So, but clinic perception staff continue to inform clients signing up the plan that payment can be deferred for 3 months as changes have not been communicated to reception staff. Now there's a panic. When the customer is coming, they are saying that our medication was deferred for 3 months. You are saying, no, sorry, the policy has been changed. So why this change in policy haven't been communicated? This was the problem, right? This is the problem. So you should make a control that whenever there's a change in policy, you should be at least communicating with the students, right? Or customers, right? Let's say if I say that there will be no live classes till exam, so you'll be saying that, sir, while taking an admission, you told that there will be once a live class in a week, probably in the last month. So how can you change that? The thing is that if you have committed something, and if you're changing, the change is allowed, but at least all the customers shall be informed on time, right? So clients are currently reliant on reception staff for information regarding plans without formal documentation, risk of breaching the agreed upon deferral terms. Yeah. So you are kind of a legally bound. You are kind of a legally bound to follow these, resulting in client dissatisfaction and bad publicity. A change from 3 months to 1 month deferral may improve cash flow. Anyone who can answer that how this can improve the cash flow? If you want to unmute, you can answer that as well. That how from the change of 3 months to 1 month can improve my cash flow. Anyone can say, anyone can suggest me the answer here? Okay. No one, guys. How can see if I'm kind of delaying the expensive procedure to 3 months, then I'll be getting the money after 3 months. But if I've changed that to 1 month, so that means major procedure would be done in 1 month and I'll be getting the cash in 1 month because I do not operate that much on credit. So if I'm getting cash after 1 month, so my cash flow would improve, but it could cause tension if not managed correctly, right? So formal documentation should be there. Communication should be there. All staff members are trained to accurately, and yeah, all staff members are talking the same thing. There's an issue that one can say, oh, that's changed, I even don't know. The other one can say, oh, we communicated, but you are left. So at least one standard answer should be there, right? Okay, so the fifth one is plan members who have not kept up their monthly direct debit payments, have not paid invoices by the payment deadline, continue to be offered deferred payment for further invoices. Huh? So plan members who have not kept up their monthly direct debit payments, so the ones who are not paying the monthly amount, have not paid invoices by the payment deadline, continues to be offered deferred payments for further invoices. So why we are offering deferred payments? Huh? If someone is not paying, at least remove that, oh, this customer is not interested. But why we are kind of saying that okay, you are allowed to pay it, right, on a deferred terms. So this was a fifth weakness. Clients are increasing, the overdue payments are increasing, so workload of credit control is increasing, which is already under staff shortages, right? It's discussed in the question, so we linked it. These clients are less likely to pay new invoices, so why we are extending them? We should just be deleting them from our numbers, right? And all that. And recommendations, so implement stronger collection strategies, offering payment incentives. Yeah, you can offer them an incentives to pay now and get 5% off, or kind of these things. Streamline the credit control process as well, right? So this is done. So the conclusion, that the internal control weakness identified pose significant risk. Now this is how a professional concludes. You have to conclude like this, right? To mitigate these risks, I recommend implementing a formal receivable timetable, enhancing data protection, improving staff training, formalizing payment plan, documentation, and adopting more proactive collection strategies. So main cycle is around from collection of strategies and all that, right? So main cycle is that. Addressing these issues promptly will strengthen PVS financial position and all that, guys. Okay, so I won't be discussing this requirement, the recommendations. The thing is that we have already recommendations given here. So kind of we have addressed A and B both part, right? Here we have addressed A and B both part. The ones, those who can attempt it, they can attempt it like that they should be attempting only implications part here, and then controls part can be discussed here. So it's up to you, right? It's up to you. So the same kind of controls are being given here. So it's up to you whether you have to attempt like this or you have to attempt the way that I've attempted. It's SBL. You are allowed to do, just you have been to able to communicate with the examiner appropriately. So guys, another recent paper been down now, right? Another recent paper been down, I believe. So this is completely done and dusted. And now you guys have an assignment that submit the PVS complete answer to me for marking. And one more thing is this question. A question that ACCA releases in a couple of attempts back. A question that's Athletic Transcentral Football Club. I made a pre-scene video on that as well. So do see that pre-scene video, then do read this question and then try to attempt it. But for this attempt, for June 25, I believe ACCA will be releasing another paper. So once that is released, I'll try to solve that with you so that we have an initial discussion on that. Once the pre-scene is released, so we'll be entirely focusing on pre-scene. Is there any questions, guys? If yes, do let me know. Otherwise, this is end from my side. Yes, Dua.
Sir, for the weaknesses and recommendations,